Hi guys, our today's topic is Preamble of Indian Constitution, in which I will be telling you about the definition of preamble, amendments done in it, and explanation of important words included in it. Please watch till end for better understanding, and if you like the content, please share it with your friends. And let's start. Constitution of India. This is just an outlook of the Constitution of India book. So the original constitution is handwritten with each page decorated by artists from Santi Niketan, including Biho Ram Manohar Sinha and Nandlal Bose. Its calligrapher was Prem Bihari Narayan Razida. So in this video I will be talking about the preamble of Indian Constitution, which is just an introductory part. Preamble of Indian Constitution. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thoughts, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among all a citizen fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. So, we the people of India are the source of this preamble or Constitution, we can say. The words sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic are its nature, and the words liberty, justice, equality, fraternity are its objective. Okay, we have adopted the Constitution 26 November. Okay, and came into force in 26 Jan 1950. So the 26th November is known as Law Day. So first let's understand what is the meaning of preamble. Preamble comes from the word preambulus, which means to go before. It is an introductory and expressly part of statement which explains the philosophy, idea, uses, aspirations, procedure and objective behind the Constitution. So it's a big question that why do we need a preamble? We need a preamble so that at a glance we capture and understand idea of making Constitution by a Constituent Assembly. What is the principle and objective of Constitution? By reading preamble, we may understand what Constitution talk about. Okay, to indicate the source from which the document derives its authority and meaning. Amendments in preamble. Preamble has been amended only once so far, on 18 December 1976 during the emergency in India. Indira Gandhi government pushed through several changes in 42nd Amendment Act of the Constitution. Committee under the chairmanship of Sardar Swarna Singh recommended that this amendment be enacted after being consulted to study the questions of amending the Constitution in the light of past experiences. Through this amendment, the word socialist, secular were added between the words of sovereign and democratic, and the word unity of the nation were changed to unity and integrity of the nation. Integrity word was later added. Preamble has a great historic background behind it. Okay, it is taken or it is based on the objective resolution that was drafted by Jawaharlal Nehru on 13 December 1946. Okay, There are three major cases on it that preamble is integral part of constitution or not. First is Ray Berubari case of 1960, in which the court said that it is not at all integral part of constitution and it cannot be amended, so it is not enforceable in the court of law. So I will tell you that Article 368 give powers to the parliament to amend the constitution. So if it is not a part of constitution, it cannot be amended. Okay. Next case is case Swananda Bharti case. It's a major case of history in which it talks about preamble also. It's of 1973 year. Okay. And in this bench said that it is a part of constitution and can be amended, but parliament cannot amend the basic feature of the preamble. Okay. Last case is Union Government versus LIC of India, in which the court upheld the same judgment. I will be discussing one by one the important words used in preamble, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty and fraternity. The idea of justice, that is of social, economic and political, has been taken from the Russian Revolution, that is of 1917. Okay. And the idea of liberty, fraternity and equality is taken from the French Revolution, okay, of 1784 to 1799. And the first word is sovereign. Sovereign means independent authority, or we can say we are independent nation. There is no external interference in our internal matter and has power to legislate on any subjects. Okay. These have two aspects. First is internal sovereignty, next is external sovereignty. First is internal sovereignty. The right of state to make laws applying with its boundaries cannot be shared with any other state. Okay, means that state is supreme over all the citizens and association. External sovereignty means state is independent and free from foreign or outside control. Okay, and the recognition in international law that a state has jurisdiction authority over a territory. Our next word is socialist. It is been added by the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976. Okay, we were having socialist content earlier also in the form of DPSP. India have democratic socialism, not communistic socialism. Okay, or we can say state socialism, which involves nationalization of all means in production and distribution and the abolition of private property. All things were in hand of government. But democratic socialization on the other hand holds faith in mixed economy, where both public and private sectors coexist side by side. As the Supreme Court says, democratic socialism aims to end poverty, ignorance, inequality of opportunity and disease. Indian socialism is a blend of Marxism and Gandhism, or we can say leaning more to Gandhism socialism, or we can say socialist mean a welfare of the nation, or essentially it means that since wealth is generated socially, wealth should be shared equally by society through distributive justice, not concentrated in the hands of few, and that the government should regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequalities. Our next word is secular. Okay, secular too was added by 42nd Amendment Act in 1976. However, the Supreme Court said in 1974, although word secular state is not mentioned in the Constitution, there can be no doubt the Constitution makers wanted to establish such a state, and accordingly in Article 25 to 28 guaranteeing the fundamental rights to freedom of religion have been included in the Constitution. Indian Constitution embodies the positive concept of secularism, means all religion in country irrespective of their strength have the same status and support from the state. Okay, secular means that the relationship between the government and religious group are determined according to the constitution of law. Okay, state has no religion, and in Hindi we say it as Panth Nirpekshita. Okay, there is no difference in the religion of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity, and Islam. They are equally respected. Moreover, there is no state religion that I have told you earlier. Okay, all the citizens of India are allowed to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. Our next word is democratic. The people of India elect their government by a system of universal adult franchise. Okay, properly known as one person, one vote. Every citizen of India 18 years of age or older and not otherwise debarred by law is entitled to vote. The word democratic refers not only to the political democracy but also to the social and economic democracy. And our next word is republic, in which we can say that head of the state is elected and not a hereditary monarch. Thus the word denotes a government where no one holds public power as proprietary right, as opposed to a monarchy in which the head of state is appointed on a hereditary basis for a life or at least until abdication. Okay, a democratic republic is an entity in which the head of state is elected directly or indirectly for a fixed tenure. Thus, India is a republic, has a president who is elected and has a fixed term of office. There is an absence of any privileged class and hence all public offices being open to every citizen without any discrimination. Okay, our next word is justice. Justice stands for rule of law, absence of arbitrariness, and a system of equal rights, freedom, and opportunities for all in the society. India seeks social, economic, and political justice. To ensure equality to its citizens, there are three types of justice in it: social justice, economic justice, and political justice. So I will discuss one by one. What is social justice? Social justice means absence of socially privileged class in the society and no discrimination against any citizen on the ground of caste, creed, or we can say gender, color, and religion, and place of birth. Okay, India stands for eliminating all form of exploitation from the society. The second justice is economic justice. It means no discrimination between men and women on the basis of economic equalities and of monopolistic control over means of production and distribution. There should be a decentralization of economic resources and secure the adequate opportunities to all for earning their living. Next justice is political justice. Okay, political justice means equal, free and fair opportunities to the people for participating in the political activities. It stands for the grant of equal political rights to all the people without discrimination. The Constitution of India provides for the liberal democracy, okay, in which all the people have their rights and freedom to participation. So our next word will be liberty. Okay, the idea of liberty refers to the freedom of activities of Indian nationals. This establishes that there is no unreasonable restrictions on Indian citizens in terms of what they think, their manner of expression, okay, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts and actions. However, liberty does not means, this is very important, freedom to anything, and it must be exercised within the constitutional limits. Okay, it should not be out of the constitutional limits. It's within the law and order. Fraternity means sense of brotherhood where there is no room for regionalism, communalism and casteism. It is also mentioned in fundamental right, we can say article 51A, where it states that duty of every citizen of India to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional and sectional diversities. Preamble declares the fraternity has assures two things: dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. It is added by the 42nd Amendment Act. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching, and if you like the video and able to understand the video content, so please share with your friends and subscribe my channel. So see you next time. Bye bye.